Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers, this exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, where the smallest details can transform an ordinary piece of change into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And today we are diving deep into the incredible story of the 1981 Washington quarter dollar from the United States. A coin that in some extremely rare cases has been valued at a jaw-dropping $5.2 million due to a combination of minting errors, striking anomalies, and elusive mint mark mistakes that have captured the attention of collectors and investors around the globe, proving that sometimes the worth of a coin can be thousands or even millions of times greater than its face value. So as we explore this topic, you'll discover exactly why these rare 1981 quarters are so extraordinary and why serious numismatists are willing to pay enormous sums to acquire them. Because while millions of standard 1981 quarters were minted in Philadelphia for circulation and remain common in everyday transactions, a select few possess unique characteristics that elevate them far beyond ordinary currency, starting with the possibility of double die errors, where the coin's design elements such as the date, the word liberty, or the famous motto "In God We Trust" may appear double due to a misalignment during the hubbing process, creating a visually striking and unmistakable feature that is instantly recognizable to trained eyes and highly sought after. Another significant factor can be off-center strikes, where the blank planchet was not properly seated in the coining press, leading to a coin with part of the design missing and a wide blank area, an error that becomes exponentially rarer and more valuable when the date and mint mark remain visible despite the misalignment. Then there are clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a mechanical mishap during blank production, giving the coin an unusual crescent shape that immediately distinguishes it from regular strikes. And perhaps most intriguingly for the 1981 quarter, some examples have been discovered with missing or mispunched mint marks, which is extraordinary because while the P mint mark was not traditionally used on Philadelphia quarters before 1980, it was added in 1980 and became standard, meaning that a 1981 quarter missing its P could be the result of a rare die preparation error. And even more fascinating are repunched mint mark (RPM) varieties where the P was struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating a ghost-like duplication under magnification, and each of these varieties can command astonishing premiums when found in top condition, especially if graded by major third-party services such as PCGS or NGC in mint state or proof-like grades. But what really drives the astronomical $5.2 million valuation for the most famous specimen is a combination of multiple errors on a single coin, such as a dramatic off-center strike paired with a double die obverse and a missing or repunched mint mark, all on a pristine, lustrous example that has somehow survived over 4 decades without significant wear, making it a one-of-a-kind piece in the numismatic world. And this is where the beauty of coin collecting truly shines, because such discoveries often happen unexpectedly, with ordinary people finding rare treasures in pocket change, inherited collections, or old jars of coins, only to realize that their seemingly common quarter could be worth a life-changing amount of money. And when you think about it, the 1981 quarter holds a special place in U.S. coinage history as part of the long-running Washington quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, with its iconic obverse portrait by John Flanagan and the heraldic eagle reverse design that served as a staple of American currency for decades until the state quarters program began in 1999. So each of these coins not only carries monetary value but also a piece of American heritage, and when that heritage is combined with extreme rarity, minting mistakes, and collector demand, the results can be spectacular in both historical and financial terms. Now you might be wondering how you can identify whether your own 1981 quarter is one of these rare treasures. And the key is careful inspection under good lighting and preferably with a magnifying glass or jeweller's loupe. Looking for signs of doubling on the letters and numbers, checking the positioning and clarity of the mint mark, examining the strike quality, and spotting any unusual shapes, edges, or off-center designs, because any of these features can hint at a valuable error. And once you think you have found something special, it is wise to have it authenticated and graded by a reputable service, as the condition of the coin, known as its grade, can dramatically influence its market value, with flawless mint state examples fetching the highest prices. And while most people will never hold the legendary $5.2 million 1981 quarter in their hands, the possibility that such rarities are still out there in circulation fuels the excitement of collectors and treasure hunters alike, reminding us that numismatics is not just a hobby but a quest filled with mystery, history, and the thrill of discovery. So whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just curious about the coins in your change, the Story of the 1981 P quarter serves as a powerful reminder to look closely at every coin you come across, because sometimes, a simple piece of pocket change can turn into the opportunity of a lifetime. We will be diving deep into the story of the extraordinary 1994 D Washington quarter dollar from the United States, a coin that on the surface seems like just another 25-cent piece jingling in pockets across the country, but in reality certain rare specimens of this coin have reached staggering values up to an incredible $6.2 million because of their rare minting mistakes, unusual errors and mysterious mint mark anomalies, making them treasures for collectors worldwide. Now, before you think such a value is just hype, let's unravel the reasons why this particular coin has stunned the numismatic world and why you should check every 1994 D quarter you come across. Starting with the basics, the 1994 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, which used the traditional clad composition of copper and nickel with the famous portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the American eagle on the reverse, a design that had been in use for decades. However, during its minting, certain batches left the presses with highly unusual errors that transformed them from regular pocket change into high-value collectibles, and these were not just minor scratches or random marks but significant anomalies such as double dies, where parts of the design appear doubled because of a misalignment during the die creation process, off-center strikes where the image is noticeably shifted because the blank planchette was not seated correctly, and the most prized of them all, mint mark errors, where the D mint mark is misplaced, missing, repunched, or appears in a distorted form. Mint mark anomalies are especially valuable because they directly point to human error in the die preparation stage, and such mistakes are rare since quality control at the US Mint is typically strict. But in 1994, a small number of Denver-struck quarters managed to escape into circulation with these irregularities, creating an immediate interest among sharp-eyed collectors who know that rarity combined with demand equals skyrocketing value. The highest known sale of this coin, reaching that jaw-dropping $6.2 million, was due to a combination of multiple factors in one specimen, including a double die obverse, a slightly off-center strike, and a distinctively misplaced D mint mark near Washington's ponytail, something so unusual it stood out even to casual observers. This perfect storm of errors is what makes certain coins so desirable, because it is like owning a one-of-a-kind artwork produced accidentally by the US Mint, and when supply is that low and demand from top collectors is that high, the auction prices can climb into millions. Now, when we talk about possibilities that make the 1994 D quarter valuable, it is not just about errors already discovered, but also the potential that there are still undiscovered ones hiding in jars, drawers, and piggy banks across America. Since millions were minted in 1994, there is always a chance that a rare variant with a unique imperfection might emerge years later. Perhaps a coin struck on a foreign planchette by mistake, or one with a dramatic die clash where design elements from the reverse show faintly on the obverse, or vice versa, and such finds can be life-changing for the person who spots them in their spare change. This is why experienced numismatists emphasize the importance of carefully inspecting coins with a magnifying glass, looking at the details of the lettering, numbers, mint mark position, and even the edges for any unusual reading or texture changes. Every aspect of the coin can hold clues to its potential rarity, and collectors often network share findings and consult grading services like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and grade coins, because certified coins in top mint state condition with rare errors bring the highest premiums. It is also important to understand that the huge value jump from the face value of 25 cents to millions of dollars is not just a matter of rarity but also of condition, demand, and provenance. A coin with a well documented history of ownership, or one featured in coin magazines and exhibitions, naturally commands more interest at auction, and the 1994 D quarter that sold for $6.2 million did just that, attracting attention from elite collectors worldwide. When the gavel finally fell, its sale became a legend in modern US coin history, and a reminder that treasure hunting does not always require digging in distant lands. Sometimes it is as simple as checking the change you receive at the grocery store. The 1994 D quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary object can become an extraordinary prize due to the unpredictable nature of minting errors and the passionate pursuit of collectors. So whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to look at coins with curiosity, this story should inspire you to take a second look at the quarters passing through your hands, because who knows, the next one you inspect might carry the hidden quirks that transform it from pocket change into a multi-million-dollar rarity, and that possibility is what keeps the thrill of coin collecting alive for generations. Where even a seemingly ordinary piece of change in your pocket could be worth a fortune, and today we're uncovering the incredible story of the 1989 D United States quarter dollar, a coin that in some rare instances has reached an astonishing value of $3.1 million due to a combination of minting errors, unique mistakes, and highly unusual characteristics that set it apart from its standard face value of just 25 cents, making it a sought-after treasure among collectors and enthusiasts alike. So let's explore what makes this coin so extraordinary and why it has captivated the interest of the numismatic community for decades, starting with the fact that the 1989 D quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, represented by this D mint mark, which in certain rare specimens contains anomalies such as misplacement, doubling, or even the absence of the mint mark altogether. And while most coins from this year and mint are worth only their face value, these rare errors drastically increase desirability and rarity, with some error varieties including off-center strikes where the design is visibly shifted away from the center, creating a dramatic misalignment that makes each piece unique, or double-die obverse and reverse errors where the coin's inscriptions and details appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process, adding a layer of visual intrigue and scarcity. And then there are planchette errors where the coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, such as a nickel or foreign coin, which can create a dramatically lighter or heavier quarter with unusual coloration or dimensions, further elevating its rarity and desirability. And perhaps most fascinating are the rare instances where this D mint mark is either entirely missing due to die polishing or is misplaced in an unusual location. A subtle but powerful error that commands immense attention in the collecting world, and when these types of mistakes occur in combination on a single coin, such as a missing mint mark paired with a double die strike, the rarity multiplies exponentially, driving collectors into intense bidding wars at auctions, pushing values from thousands into the multi-million-dollar range as documented in rare sales that have stunned both experts and casual observers alike. And part of what makes the 1989 D quarter such an intriguing subject is the fact that its design features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse and the iconic eagle reverse that was standard prior to the state quarters program, giving it a nostalgic appeal for collectors. Yet in the presence of a dramatic error it becomes an artistic anomaly that tells a story of human imperfection and machine miscalibration within the highly precise world of the US Mint. And collectors will often meticulously inspect every detail of the coin under magnification to detect subtle differences in lettering thickness, spacing, or strike depth that might indicate an error variant, with serious numismatists knowing that even the smallest minting inconsistency can transform a common coin into a 6- or 7-figure prize. And while the majority of people will never encounter such a coin in their lifetime, it's the possibility of finding one in everyday change, a coin jar, or inherited collection that fuels the thrill and excitement. And this rarity combined with demand is what drives the market value sky high, particularly when two or more serious collectors are determined to acquire the same unique specimen, as scarcity is the ultimate driver of price in the collectibles world. And what's even more fascinating is that not all errors are immediately visible to the untrained eye, meaning a valuable 1989 D quarter could easily slip past someone who simply assumes it's worth 25 cents, highlighting the importance of awareness and knowledge in the hobby. Because coins with such extraordinary errors are typically authenticated and graded by professional services, and when graded at a high mint state condition such as MS67 or above, the value can soar astronomically, especially if the coin maintains sharp details, clean surfaces, and eye-catching luster in addition to its error. And stories abound of individuals who have discovered these valuable coins in pocket change, estate sales, or bulk coin purchases, only to later learn that they were in possession of a coin worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. And while some people might dismiss these stories as exaggeration, the documented auction results speak for themselves, proving that such windfalls are entirely possible. And the combination of historical significance, rarity, visual uniqueness, and market demand all contribute to the phenomenon that is the 1989 D quarter dollar with errors, making it a reminder that even in the age of digital payments and cashless transactions, the coins we carry can still hold secrets of immense value. So the next time you have a handful of change, take a closer look, because you never know when you might be holding a multi-million-dollar piece of American minting history in your hand. And perhaps your journey into the world of coin collecting could start with an ordinary day and an extraordinary discovery just like this remarkable 1989 D quarter.